If you're like me, you found a video about Welcome Home within the past week, went down the rabbit hole on the website, and in less than 24 hours found yourself simping for a puppet. Jokes aside, one of the topics that has been debated in this rapidly growing fandom is in relationship to Wally's role in the story. Some have been interpreting Wally as the villain of the story, controlling the town of Home through fear and intimidation, and sometimes being depicted in a very violent manner. Others believe Wally is the victim of the story, trapped in Home, longing to escape the confines of his felt, colorful world, but afraid of retribution. I will only be using material from the website, as that is what is confirmed to be canon. Materials from other websites are currently either considered non-canon or unimportant to the video. First, we will look at arguments that Wally is the villain. I'm gonna say it now. Being creepy is not a valid argument. You know who you are. In the guestbook section of the website, Wally doodles over some of the messages guests sent. Each image's file name is Wally's response to the guest's message. One of the notable responses is in response to a guest saying he sure hopes Wally doesn't turn out to be evil. Wally draws a sad face and says, "You don't like me, neighbor?" There are a couple of interpretations of this exchange. The interpretation by people who think Wally's the villain take this as Wally admitting to being evil, which seems to lack subtlety, to be honest. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. Jumping off of that, we have "Why are you fibbing?" In the "Why are you fibbing?" exchange, a guest asks, "Where am I?" and describes how he can't see anything and everything is dark. Wally responds with some question marks, titled, "Why are you fibbing? I don't see you." Again, there are a couple of interpretations, one of which could be that Wally is covering up whatever is happening to this particular guest, who seems to be indicating that they have been kidnapped or otherwise abducted. If Wally is covering up what happened to this guest, that may indicate that he himself is the one that kidnapped them, or is otherwise working for whoever kidnapped them. Let's also look at the About Us page. On the About Us page, there are hidden messages that can only be viewed when highlighted. It is unknown as of now who is writing these. Looking at the contents of these messages, if they are written by the restoration team, it suggests that they are being brought harm to, possibly by Wally himself. Now let's go over the evidence Wally is actually the victim of the story. Much like being creepy is not evidence of villainy, being cute is not a valid argument towards innocence. Let's take another look at "You don't like me, neighbor." Rather than evil intentions, Wally could have actually been hurt that the guest thinks Wally is evil. After all, wouldn't you be upset if someone implied something like that about you? Especially if it turns out Wally is trying to reach out for help. Being mistaken for the villain would be very counterproductive. There is also a guestbook message we have not covered, called "No Memory." In this exchange, a guest asks what Wally's favorite memories with his friends is. Wally scribbles out part of the message, with a file named "No Memory." Unlike everyone else in Home, Wally has no backstory, and here he even indicates he has no memories either. Something may have happened to Wally to cause him to have no memories of his life either prior to living in Home, or even some of his time within Home. "Why are you fibbing?" could also be interpreted as the guest genuinely disappearing to where Wally cannot see him, which could rule out the person being in Home. Wally openly says he can see us. Why not this person? That, or Wally's confused by some edgelords. But if the guest was abducted, and it wasn't by Wally, then who? Perhaps the same being who took Wally's memories from him? Let's go back to the hidden messages in About Us as well. What if the messages are written by Wally himself? What if he is the one who can't read the numbers and is in pain? Even if it's not him, what if the team is being hurt by the same forces that are antagonizing Wally instead? Now let's move on to some of the hidden pages that are hard to find on the website. First, let's hear Wally sing.
Sounds of the wind heard in the day. tiger like ever passed away. Never forget my song. When I saw my worthy, as I currently did. All I ever cares about life's still behind. Never forget how I got to me. Never forget how I got to me. How? I don't know the words. That's all Barbie taught me. Didn't you like it? That's good, I think.
As Wally sings to who appears to be home, he sounds scared. Almost like he's forcing himself to sing the song. But why? We'll come back to that. Let's move on to the biggest smoking gun in favor of Wally being the victim. Hello. You're there. I can't see you. Do you see me? Then stay quiet. Notice how Wally's eyes are shaking. He seems not only scared, but he seems to be warning us, trying to protect both himself and us, the viewer. Something dangerous is lurking on this page, and it doesn't seem to be Wally. It seems to me there is a lot more evidence on the site that Wally is the victim rather than the villain at the moment, although there is certainly more to come, which will reveal more as time goes on. But if Wally isn't the villain, who is? Right now, the leading theory is Home. Wally's house is the villain. Wally's bio was dedicated more to Home than him, and when singing Beautiful Dreamer, Wally was clearly singing to Home. Many think Home is keeping Wally prisoner, and Home is the neighbor we know the least about. Another theory is that it is the producers of the show, who have locked their puppets up after Wally gained self-awareness. We'll have to wait for more information to come out before further theorizing. Hopefully nothing comes out right before this video uploads, though. Don't do it, clown. Don't do it. Thank you all for watching. Please share your own thoughts in the comments, as well as anything I may have missed. Also, I'd appreciate if you mention any new secrets that get found since this video has been posted.